So this one is music titled Fire, and it's by Mordecai. Beautiful song by all standards. And listen, if you have time, why don't you just take your own time and listen to it? It's now 19 minutes to hit 8 o'clock, and we're bringing to you our main conversation this morning right here on Love in the Morning. Now, listen, preventing a public officer from doing his job or her job is criminal. Have that at the back of your mind. Whoever you are, if you want to prevent, a public officer from doing his or her job is criminal. Now, I'm saying this, having at the back of my mind a video that has gone viral, where in that video, and we'll be showing, that video on Facebook shortly. It's on LUV 99.5 FM on Facebook. Join us on Facebook. Now, in that video, you would hear or see, you would hear a woman lamenting bitterly about a fire that broke out at Anloga on Friday. And she was lamenting the loss of property and belongings of hers. But in that same sound, or in that same video, you would hear another female voice saying that, well, the boys of Anloga have done very well. They've done very well in the sense that they attempted to prevent the fire service from putting out a fire that occurred on Friday. Now, also on Facebook, if you stay with us there, you see the number of buildings or the number of houses or rooms that the fire gutted. More than 10. More than 10. But again, my concern is that many people oftentimes raise concerns about the fact that when they call on the fire service never ever, get to the fire scene on time. But question we also need to ask ourselves is this: what time is a call placed to the fire service? And with all their constraints, their logistical constraints, are they able to meet the time when the call comes in? Listen, we often record high number of fires around times like this, getting to Christmas and the New Year's and stuff like that. So, as I speak this morning, I'm sure that you've gotten up, getting ready to go to work. Either you work, you have your own business you attend to, or you work somewhere. At the end of the month, you're getting something, and you hope to amass property or get some belongings. Make sure you're protecting them. Make sure that you don't, you do the right thing so fire does not gut it. So stay with us on Facebook and see what we're talking about. The buildings or the structures that was gutted by fire on Friday at Anloga, and then see the fact that some people, young men, were trying to prevent the fire service from doing their job. But if for one reason or the other you cannot have the benefit of joining us on Facebook, take a listen to this sound where one lady was lamenting about the loss of her belongings to the fire, and another was happy that the boys of the area at Anloga were preventing the fire service from doing their job. So, in that soundbite, you could hear one woman lamenting because she's lost property to the fire. There's another one who was encouraging the boys. Anloga boys, we're near ding. It is criminal, and they could be arrested for that. Now, he should have joined us in the studios of Love 99.5, but due to calls elsewhere, I'm talking about the MCE for Furukrom, Honorable Kwame Nchi. Kwame, good morning to you. Hello, Kwame. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
All right, so that is the voice of the Honorable, MCE for Ofurukrom, and like I was saying a while ago, he should have been with us in the studios of Love 99.5, but unfortunately, due to calls elsewhere, so he's joining us via the phone lines. In the studios, I have D.O.III Peter Addai. I also have ADO2 Daniel Aintree. Gentlemen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave.
So, Mr. Kwame Aintree, hold the line for me. So this sound that I played, where we could hear a lady talk about the fact that the men at Anloga have done very well because we're preventing the fire service from doing their job. Did that really happen? Were they preventing your men from doing their job?
Yes, good morning, Dave, and good morning to your listeners, and thank you for the opportunity. They resisted our men from doing their lawful duty. And when our men got to the scene, they said they are delayed. So for about 5 minutes, they couldn't get down from the fire truck. to go and perform their lawful duty. They had to stay in the fire truck, and in fact, the crowd, they were divided. Some were resisting us, and the other group also wanted us to go and fight the fire. So at the end of the day, they were able to give us the.
Under such circumstances, what do you do?
And in fact, there are a number of things. In fact, in safety, this is violence at work, and our men are trained on how to handle such a situation. They have to raise the alarm and call, let us know that they are being resisted, and sometimes calling the police. It is one of the options available. Calling the police to come and protect them. They are sometimes, depending on the situation, if the network is not good and they cannot reach the police, they activate the de-escalation techniques, which includes staying at a safe distance, using calm voices to talk to the people, avoid touching them, and stuff like that, so that they are not hurt.
And whilst the prevention or the resistance is ongoing, the fire will still be raging on.
Yes, so in you have to understand that in the long run, it doesn't help all of us.
But this is criminal.
In fact, if you go to
have you arrested anybody for doing this before?
Yes, in some areas, the people who were identified were arrested. And in some instances, they were also reported to the police to take the matter up.
What about what happened on Friday?
On Friday, I would have to check with the district commander to see if they have reported to the police for them. I understand at a point they called in the police. The police came around to protect them. But we have to all understand that this, if you read section 205 of the Criminal Code, Act 29, 1960, it is an offense to prevent a public officer from executing his lawful duty. If you go to the Local Government Act, I think Act 936 2016, Section 119 also talks about preventing a public officer from rendering emergency services, which includes fire service. In fact, over there it is stated categorically that if you prevent a person from offering fire services or humanitarian service, emergency services, you commit an act.
Indeed, it's a criminal offense. Yes. But let me do this, and before I engage with the MCE for the area, Honorable Kwame Yintri, let me ask this question. So their concern on the Friday was that you delayed. When I say delayed, I mean delayed to get to the fire scene.
Yes, but if you
do you have a time the call came through?
Yes.
And when your men got to the ground?
We got the call around 9:59 a.m. in the morning when we got the call. So we dispatched the Manhyia fire tender, and the tender got there 10:10.
But if you have a fire, at Anloga, you're supposed to have a fire tender at KNUST, don't you?
Yes, we have a fire.
So why Manhyia? Why not the KNUST fire tender?
The KNUST fire tender is faulty. It's down.
It's down?
Yes. So
for how long has it been down?
For about a year now.
For a year?
Yes.
Let me engage with the MCU for Oforokrom. Honorable, I'm sure you've been following the conversation. Now, I'm told that the KNUST fire tender is down. Are you aware of it?
Yes, I'm very aware, sir.
So how long has it been down for?
I am aware it's been down for close to a year. I was told at RECSEC, they wrote to inform us the monies involved in fixing the fire engine was huge, and we didn't have the financial wherewithal. So we have also written to some agencies, some filling stations, some major institutions within our municipality.
When you say the amount involved is huge, do you have an idea as how much was involved?
We were told at the time, but I don't remember. Like I said, it's quite some time now. So when they brought the request to us, we also had to seek support from other agencies so we could raise the amount to help them, because they also don't have it. But it's their responsibility to fix. But when they don't have the resource, we, the beneficiaries, can also contribute to fix it.
So, under the circumstances, what is being done, to get a fire tender, either a new one or to get this one fixed? Because if you look at Oforukrom, it is the most populous.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the fire tender is not working. So, if you follow the sequence of narration, then you realize that the fire department had to fall on Manhyia fire tender to come all the way from Manhyia to get to the fire scene. They delayed in getting there, and then the people, your own people, were angry and were preventing them from putting out the fire.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, they have informed us. Since we do not also have the financial muscle, we have also written to other agencies or other private, specifically private organizations to help us fix it. Like I said, though not our responsibility, we are also the beneficiaries of the fire engine. And for that matter, we can't leave it and say, since the fire service has not fixed it themselves, we will also not do anything about it. No. We have gone ahead to send an SOS request to some private sector people to help us fix it. Secondly, the issue of people preventing them from putting out the fire. I mean, if you obstruct.
Before you touch on that bit for me, I am uncomfortable when you say it's not your responsibility, because you are the MC for the area. In fact, I am under the Oforukrom municipality as well, and then it means that where I live around Kote and its environs, the Homaso, the Emena, the Buedi, the KNUST, the Odium, and all those environs, if attached, but if there should be a fire outbreak right now, we don't have a fire tender. That's what you're saying. That is problematic, isn't it?
No, but I appreciate the fact that, I mean, we should have a fire tender that is working. But I said specifically, I'm sure when I am done, you can ask the officers whether fixing the tender is responsibility of the assembly. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's your responsibility per se, but you look as the MC. I'm sure that you should find a way of lobbying for us to have a fire tender.
What I have said, that I have sent out letters. It's unfortunate I went out for some assignment. Otherwise, I could easily send you. If I was in the office, I would send you letters and institutions to which we requested support, Nanas and Manhyia, some filling stations and things. If you do a follow-up and nothing comes from there.
Is the regional minister aware of this?
Come again.
Is the regional minister aware of this?
Definitely, this was reported at RECSEC. The regional fire chief reported at RECSEC. And then I said that he should let his people at the district send a request. So they wrote. It was at a Regional Security Council meeting. This was discussed. And then they wrote to us. And then apparently that of KMA had also gotten some fault. And KMA, after some months, was able to fix it. You know, their financial muscle compared to ours are not the same. So, but even that, it took them some months to fix that. And so we are also taking that step so we could also mobilize some resources to help.
So people of Oforukrom, be mindful. We don't have a fire tender. So make sure that you don't have fire occur in your house or at your workplace, because it's going to be bad for you. We don't have a fire tender. Now, Honorable, I want you to respond to the issue of the resistance by your people. What do you want to say about it?
Which is very bad. I think that those who did that probably out of frustrations, out of ignorance, they did that. But they could have been arrested easily and prosecuted. I mean, an emergency service person is in the line of duty and you are obstructing them. It's unfortunate their house was burning. Yes, your house could burn to ashes. However, if you don't, if I am not justifying the delay or whatever, but even when I checked from the fire service, there wasn't a delay. The delay, as they talk about, it wasn't so. Now, if you obstruct them, you don't allow them, they leave, or the police don't come to your aid and they leave, what happens? That it wouldn't be only that house that will get burned. Other property, other adjoining properties will also get burnt. So I would appeal to them. Please, if you call fire, they come and you want to attack them because you think they are delayed. You are attacking them. You are also attacking your property and the property of other adjoining people. So I don't think it's something good, and people are happy talking about it that they won't go over near the This is something somebody wants to glorify.
I'm happy that you condemn it. I hope that you find ways and means of communicating to the people of the area that it's a criminal thing to do. But before I throw my next question at you, Honorable, hold the line for me. Because I used to call, and Betway's cash out just go away better. They are enhanced early, partial and auto cash out feature, let you cash your bets out early, cash out a portion of your ongoing bets, or even set your bets to cash out automatically. Others to give you way more control over every thrilling bet you place. So sign up today at betway.com.gh. Don't forget that terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. It's not for the persons under the age of 18. Betway, they say, get way more. Meanwhile, enjoy faster, safer, and cheaper intra-African trade and commerce payments on the Pan-African Payments and Settlement System. Make or receive payments in your own country's currency. No long things, no long wahala. Visit any CBG's branch. They have 114 branches nationwide. Visit any of them to make your instant cross-border payments today. You can call them on 0302-216-000 or talk to us at cbg.com.gh. Just send them a mail to that address, or visit any of their social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for further enquiries. Now, listen. Take the shoemaker that you know of in that street corner of yours. For instance, he doubles as a shop attendant at the corner store during the day and also played football with the guys on the park in the evenings. And just like him, we all have more than one side or have more than one thing. That's why ABSA provides banking solutions for the many sides of you. Whatever you need for the different sides of you, ABSA has the products and services that can help you get it all done. Join ABSA to get every kind of banking solution for every kind of you. Visit the nearest ABSA branch or absa.com.gh for more information. So, a fire outbreak happened on Friday at Anloga. And the fire service were called upon. According to the residents of the area, the fire service department, got there late, and so they were trying to prevent them from doing their job. That is to put out the fire. Now on Facebook, if you join us, we are showing you the number of buildings that got burnt, the number of houses that got burnt. It's on Facebook on LUV 99.5 FM. But listen, preventing a public officer from doing his or her job is criminal. So what do you make of this? The fact that people of Anloga were prevented by residents there from putting out the fire. And again, looking at the situation the fire service themselves find themselves in, tell me this. Can we really blame them? Because Oforukum, the whole of the Oforukum municipality doesn't have a fire tender. It does not have one. It's been broken down for almost a year. Kwame, like I said, Kwame Nchi, who is the MC for Oforukum. So I want to know from you. Let's talk about relief items. Have you been able to give them some relief just to
No, we haven't.
Why haven't you been able to do?
We haven't. For the past 1 month or so, we have recorded about 5 disasters, 4 fires, and then 1 flood. Fire at Angomanso, fire at Insaniye, fire at Anloga, fire at affordable area Aija, and then flooding around Akatego. Now, we do not have relief items. So we contacted the region to see if they could assist us. And our not having relief items is due to the fact that we don't have the funding. Common fund is not in. Property rate, which used to help some time ago, is no longer coming because of the partnership between D.O.III and the assemblies. If I tell you how much we have received for the whole year, it will surprise you. Now, we don't have the funding, and for that matter, our stores are empty as far as relief items are concerned.
So if I'm getting you correctly, you're saying that even at the regional NADMO office, they don't have any relief items to give to support these people. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. When I went there, this is the report I got. D.O.III is your friend, so I'm sure even afterwards you can check for.
Well, I've been trying to reach D.O.III from yesterday, but unfortunately have not been successful. Okay. I caught at a point in time.
I sent messages to the National Admo Director. Tried reaching him via phone. I was not getting through. I'm told he was somewhere in the voter area. So finally, I got one of the deputy directors of operations. Seji is his name. I discussed with him, and he said definitely he's aware the reports might have been sent to the office nationally, but I should forward the soft copies to him. I did that yesterday, and so we will follow up this morning.
I see. So people of Kumasi, if you're listening and listen carefully,
notwithstanding the fact that we do not have resources, when you have disasters to this magnitude, you can also fold your arms and say, I'm waiting till money comes. We are making some attempts to have some issues, some relief items purchased on credit, so we can make them available to the victims of these disasters.
You want to get some items on credit. Have you taken the initiative? Do you have any items yet?
Yes, we have taken the initiative, and it began last week. We're trying to get some second-hand clothing, some clothing items, some food items, and stuff like that. Basic necessity of life, of clothing, food, house, and all those things. They are things we are trying to get, and I'm sure in no time we would inform you of things.
Kwame, has anything? So what you're saying is nothing has reached them yet? Nothing
from our side, from the view of the assembly, from the region, from national. I am not in the known if there is anything, but as far as I am aware, nothing has reached any of the victims of the 5 disasters I spoke about as of this morning.
Wow.
If something has gone, it could be churches or friends, then that is it. But from the administrative structure of district, region, national, I am not aware anything has got into any of these.
I am not surprised because even when the Mepe floods occurred, the spillage occurred, we're told that even NADMO were at a limbo. They didn't have anything to go give to the people. But you mentioned, Kwame, you mentioned that Common Fund has been in arrears. For how long has it been in arrears for?
This year we have received first quarter. We have received first quarter of Common Fund. So we are left with, I think we are in the last quarter now. So it means we have 2 outstanding, that is second and third quarter. But the last quarter, because we are in it, it's not an outstanding thing.
How are you running the office then?
Sometimes we are able to do some IGF, so some basic rounds, fuel, some statutory meetings, some payments like water, electricity bills we are able to do. But like I said, we've had challenge with our IGF because of the property rate issues. It used to be our major source of income as far as the IGF is concerned. But for the past 1 year, when I checked the October 31st figure, we had recorded about 40,000 cities.
Bottom line, from all you're saying, Kwame Ntwi, Honorable Kwame Ntwi, member, MC for Rukrum, what you're saying to us is this: that we should ensure that we don't find ourselves in any kind of trouble, this or disaster. If anything should happen to us, any of us right now, there's nothing like help that will come our way because your coffers are empty.
That has always been the natural phenomenon. The natural thinking is that we should always stay safe. It's not because there's no resources, so we should always stay safe. I will always advocate that we should stay safe in terms of fire, in terms of flood, in terms of any disasters that may come. And not only when there are no resources to provide when there is an outbreak. So it is important we all work on staying safe.
And Kwame, you have no idea when the next Common Fund is going to come. Let's say the second quarter or even the third quarter is going to come. You have no idea?
No, sir. We have not had any timelines in terms of when Common Fund will be released. We've not had any specific timelines to that effect. we are indebted to some people, some contractors who worked on our projects, some people, stationaries we took and all those. We are indebted, so we waiting as and when they drop, will make due of the debt we are owing them.
Kwame, thank you very much for your time with us, sir. He's the MC for Furukrum. So, Common Fund, they have had only 1 quarter. Quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. It's not in yet. So 7 months in arrears. Aside from that, he has to go lobby and see if he can get some false clothing. If he that 1 crown credit. Listen, I don't know what you make of what you have just said. It's disturbing. Meanwhile, we have leaders. We pay our taxes, knowing and hoping that if some disaster should happen, we'll be covered. Here we are, no common fund coming in. So when there's a disaster, he mentioned four fires already with 1 flood. All of those people, nothing has reached them. Nothing has reached them. But let's talk about this issue of you being prevented, your men being prevented from doing their job. Does it happen often?
It doesn't happen often, but we've had a number of cases where, in the Ashanti region, where our men have been prevented, resisted, and some even manhandled and even hurt in the process.
But what do you guys do about it? Because if you allow it to fester, if you don't take action, if they're not punished, it will continue.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, we report it to the police, so the police will have to take it up and prosecute those who.
But you can't arrest. You can't, because the citizens arrest. You can
arrest them, but when we arrest, you hand them over to the police.
I understand that. So on Friday, you didn't arrest anybody.
I would have to check and give you that information. I'm not sure.
How would you describe that fire that happened on Friday and the extent of damage to the property?
Let me first and foremost condemn the act. In fact, I understand the youth were angry. They have a lot of energy. I think they should rather channel their energies into forming maybe voluntary groups and protecting their areas instead of venting those anger against the fire service.
But did you delay in getting to the fire?
We didn't delay. I told you the call came in around 9:59. Yeah. We got there 10:10. So imagine moving all the way from Manhyia to Anloga Kings near the Union Market. 10:10. It took us 11 minutes to get there.
What disturbs me? What disturbs me again? And please indulge me. For those of you who have the benefit of watching the video on Facebook, 3 ladies were spoken to. All of them never said, and they were the first people who saw the fire. They didn't say they tried calling the fire service department. All they said was that they saw the fire, they raised alarm. They saw the fire, they wanted to salvage their property and all that.
To that.
So, if we don't place the call in early, and fire can rage so fast, so quick, and cause some serious devastation, you might think that the fire service delayed. So, when there's fire, tell us, what are the first things we need to do?
Let me first and foremost comment on what you just said. I mean, from the videos, you realize that the time they discovered the fire was around 8:39. So it took them well over an hour before they called us. And in 5 minutes, the destruction fire can cause is unimaginable. So if it takes you 1 hour to call us, just imagine where the fire would have got into. In fact, when we got there, the whole house, it was 21 rooms, was on fire.
All the 21?
All the 21 was on fire.
And if you join us on Facebook, 21 rooms is on our Facebook page right now. So join us on LUV 99.5 FM and go see the 21 rooms that's been talked about this morning.
And portions of the roof had even caved in. So we prevented it. In fact, we cut the supply, the spread of fire to the adjoining buildings. And behind the house that got gutted by fire, there was a house. And there's 2 sides, there was the houses. So 3 buildings were salvaged from that fire. The fire could have easily spread to the adjoining buildings because they were very close. They were very, very close. So it is important for all of us to understand that there's a time of discovery of fire and there's a time of report of fire. So if you discover the fire 1 hour and you do not report it to the fire service, we are not magicians. We will know that there's a fire at the place. So you have to report it to us.
So first
for us to move there.
Run us through the first initial things we need to do when we see fire, whether it's small or big. First 3 things we need to do.
So the first things you are supposed to do is when you discover fire, you are supposed to raise an alarm.
No matter how small.
No matter how small it is.
What if
every fire starts very small? What
if by the time I place a call, by the time the fire service gets there, I might have quenched the fire? Would you say that
there's nothing wrong? No. It's not a false call.
People say they would just say false.
No, this is not a false call.
Okay.
It's not a false call.
Okay.
In fact, there was a fire. The only thing that happened was that you were able to extinguish it before we got there. So when we get there, we'll also only check whether it is truly it has been extinguished and there's no threat of fire, there's no threat of reignition.
Okay.
Then we will educate you and move to base. So when you discover fire, what I said was you are supposed to raise alarm. In the case of
doing what?
If you have
calling on neighbors for
no, shouting. If you don't have any call point and sounder that can help you raise the alarm, you have to shout that's fire, so that people who are at places where they can't see the fire will know that there's fire and run for safety. Then when you raise the alarm, you call fire service. When you call fire service and you have the first aid fire appliance, you know how to use it. It is safe for you to use it. You use it to tackle the fire. If you cannot, your life is more important. You move to safety.
This issue of the fire tender at KNUST not, functioning for a whole year. The MC said it rightly. It's not his job directly. What has been done to fix it?
Okay, so
what has been done to get a new one?
I know the regional command has put in measures to fix it. As at now, we have been able to secure some of the parts to fix it. But like the MC said, the amount involved is so huge that
you have an idea?
No, I don't. We cannot do it on our own. You see, fire safety, like we always say, is a shared responsibility. Even though the tender is for fire service, indirectly, right? It is for the municipality. It is serving the people of Orikrum. All of us have a role to play, especially the assembly. If you go to the Assembly Act, I quoted it. It's I think 936 Act 936 2016. It is stated there categorically, I think section 115, that the assembly is supposed to provide fire services for its inhabitants. So that tells you that they have a major role to play in providing that service for the inhabitants. And all of these things are part of it, helping fix the fire tender when it goes down, providing resources like fuel and other things to help fix the tender. So
I asked the MC that same question. What you're asking me, Eugene wants to make a point, because the point is this: we want to know how much is involved. The MC says is huge. He cannot have the figure offhand. You're also saying a similar thing. But Charlie, we're talking about a fire tender that's supposed to serve several communities in this metropolis.
Yes.
Several. Not less than 20. With an inhabitant population of over 70,000. And we don't have a fire tender. Not more is so down, they cannot even give relief items to anybody. This is sad and serious.
David, you know where I want the figure. Maybe we speak to management and do fundraising, because you know what they are saying. When I was listening to the MC, and David, I think it's one of the most chilling interviews I've listened to as a producer in the whole year. KNUST, that small community there houses about 70,000 students. We have lecture. No, I go to school there, but I don't live there. So about lectures and everything, commercial activities.
You're talking about the student population and then staff population there.
Yes, commercial activities. If fire happens, that fire station there's no tender. Let's not forget that this constituency has most tertiary institutions, Spiritan University and all that. Yes, Orikrum is the most elitist constituency in Greater Kumasi. Now, David, another point is that look at the shanty towns we have, or the inner cities and these places are susceptible for fire. Now, what the MC is saying is that for 1 year, 12 months, 365 days, there's no working fire tender. Now, David, the question I ask is that, on the flip side of it, if a disaster happens, blanket the bucket back. You won't get.
You know when yesterday I told you about it. I told you about it yesterday when I heard the news that no relief item has reached them because NADMO has zilch zero. I was like, what?
The NADMO officers when they go to the vote, do they go?
I don't know. But the point again is, can we blame them directly? Because he is the original NADMO boss. If there's a disaster, he's supposed to go and give them relief items and support. Or they didn't you're fashion man, or they didn't. Do you blame him? The MC is saying that they've had quarter 1 disbursement of the common fund, quarter 2, quarter 3,
7 months.
So who do you blame for this one? Can we say somebody's been incompetent?
David, when you read Article 256,
can we say somebody's been incompetent?
You see, David, when you read Article 256, the regional minister is supposed to be the president of the region.
He is not supposed to be. He is.
Now, David, if you're a minister, and sometimes that's why they have problems with some of us. Because I'll say it as it is. If you're a minister for a region, and if you look at how this constituency is, then for almost 1 year, there's no working fire tender.
And it's brought to your attention at RECSEC meetings.
How are we able to live with some of these indecisions and inactions as leaders?
Listeners, you can join the conversation. Call us on 03220-83597.
We are fighting for more.
03220-83597 and 03220-83598. Give us a call. NADMO, yes, I'm going to share. So we to disaster bit at Rancham 2 CC. I'm about nothing is coming your way.
All the high-rise buildings that we are fighting for in our region to make it look nice. In case there is a fire on the seas floor.
Listeners, you can call and join our conversation on 03220-83596, 03220-83597, and 03220-83598. The situation is that bad. So all I'll say is, listen, advise us. The advice we always give, prevention is always better than cure. And yet some of us, through carelessness and whatever, we create some of the problems for ourselves. And when the problem come, we expect that will be sorted out. There's nothing to sort out with you. There's nothing. And that's why now I will quote you, man. I know do there. A jana will so do ye do and do me jana there. Let's go into our console.
Good morning, David. This is Isaac. David, that's sad. It's very sad. I thank the MCE for speaking the truth. He has laid the truth bare for all of us to hear, see what is going on. Look at the treatment we are going through, the hardship. They can have money for campaign just to remain in power. They can have money. Look at the monies they are spending. Look at the tapes we are hearing of monies they are holding for campaign. Where did they get this money? And look at one aspirant talking about he has been offered money over $800 million. How much have we gone to the IMF to look for? 3 billion. It's more than 1/3 of that money of IMF. And you hear that aspirant saying that he cannot do that. If he receives that, accepts that money, we are going to be in trouble. Ghana is going to be in trouble. These are the people we have in power.
And it's not just about the campaign, no. If you look at the number of V8s we have purchased, if the president moves, the vice president is on the campaign trail. When they move, count the number of V8s that is in that convoy, and ask yourself whether we have its equivalent in terms of fire tenders. Why are we doing this to ourselves? We buy V8s and fuel them, and we do campaigns with it. We apply the length and breadth of this country with it, campaigning for votes. Well, the same person or persons who are supposed to vote for you, they don't have fire tenders such that if their property is on fire, the fire tender can go to their aid. They don't even have anything at NADMO. Blankets, mosquito nets, buckets, there's none. And yet people are buying V8s and spending money to campaign. Christoph, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. I hope you are fine.
I am well, Chris. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, don't be emotional for Ghana, no. So also be so no. David, do you know that up to now, look at what happened in my beloved region, Water region. The president has not seen the need to declare state of emergency. Look at how people have lost their livelihood. Their houses have been submerged into water. Their property, their things that make them human beings, it's all gone. David, they've not declared state of emergency. You see, it is serious, let alone what's happening now. David, I'm begging you, multimedia, Jimmy Agla, Kumasi branch, please, you people should do something for these people. Do something, get some relief, talk to the people, do some adverts. People are willing to support, even with these 5 victims and all that, in the voter region and all that. Do some funding, take it to them. Let's help human beings. David, what is happening in Ghana is like our leaders have become so insensitive to our plight and our problem. So we will have to be very, very careful. We say that when this fund is being launched, we will also do our contribution to help these people that their offices have been gathered into a fire and order, and our people in the voter region. Thank you very much.
Well, David. Chris, thanks for joining us. And this country now sometimes so doing well. Take a listen to this.
Good morning, David. I hope you are well. David, the people don't have to, stop the fire servicemen for doing their job. But sometimes, David, it's annoying that these people always arrive late when everything is destroyed. You see, that's the problem. Thank you.
Well, George sent in that message. But the point is, George, looking at the size of Kumasi, there's only 22, or we have only 22 fire tenders that are operational. 22 region. So for the whole Ashanti region, for the whole Ashanti region, only 22 fire tenders or tenders are working. So if the fire happens, like we're talking about Furuku right now, there's no fire tender. So if there's fire somewhere, at least they would have to call on Manhyia. If they call on Manhyia, the Manhyia's fire tender is down or has gone out to quench a fire somewhere, they need to go to the regional headquarters. It's not their fault. It is not their fault. Listen, you can still call us on 0322083596, 0322083597, 0322083598. And aside from the fact that the fire tenders are not even working, NADMO has nothing in its coffers, in its stores, to help people with relief items when there's a fire outbreak. What kind of a country is this? Leo.
So this one says, good morning, David. It's very bad to put up a building and within seconds it's damaged by a fire. Please, my question to the fire officer, they should start and educate landlords and landladies to get fire extinguishers for their house. Fire extinguisher is like first aid. This is from Sergeant Jude.
Who doesn't know this? How many times haven't they talked about this? It is us. Yeah, so dainty. Listen, I think that you guys would have to do some more work. Christmas is coming. A lot of things happen. You and I know the kind of things people do during Christmas and festivities, and we record high number of fires. So keep up the good work we do. For us, we have given the education. Now our fate is in our hands. We know that there's no fire tender in the Furuku municipality. So if care is not taken and fire should break, in this municipality, fire tender be any amount. And I said, "Tell you, say she so we are not move so nip she MC Zoko free fools."
David, people ask whether when they come to the office they will get fire extinguishers. Do they have some?
Please, you have some stuff.
Okay, so we have service providers who have been mandated to sell fire extinguishers. If you don't know any of the service providers, you can contact any fire service station, and it's not too much. I mean, if you compare that to the life.
So the advertisement I'll do for them is that please drive to where is the offer put to that Tonsu place and go and get some.
Let me ask a question. Somebody sent a message on Facebook. Also, the most painful aspect is that the regional minister's wife is working with the fire service. Is it true?
Yes, the regional minister's wife is with the fire service.
But that's inconsequential.
But you see,
Dave, back to the point I'm making, that Christmas festivities are happening. There will be a lot of cooking. Get a fire extinguisher at your home. The chief administrative officer for the constituency David and I live in, where do you live, Kwadaso, is saying that one, not no Enisika, two, there's no common fund, there's no fire tender for you. So please take your personal security in your hands.
So if you know Christmas is coming, you're going to drink alcohol. Once you put something on fire and then you doze off and the thing is on fire, who know when you
and houses with old wiring systems and all those things.
So from what you are saying, it means you have all the education.
The education that you over the years.
A lot of people out there to have it, except that they don't put them into practice. So we want to advise that they should consider it very important and practice these things. I mean, within 5 minutes, you can lose your property to fire. Property that you've taken 20 years, 30 years to build, you lose it to fire. You can even lose your life. We should be, and if you indulge me, I want to ask that a question for all of us to ponder: that what do we do when we see fire, or when we see somebody's house on fire? What do we do? We should try not to be spectators when we get there. Like the video we saw, what the lady was doing. When you pick your phone, call fire service. Call us. It will surprise you that your call will save the situation. So call fire service. They say, and I'm not the one saying why. So if you call us, we get like 10 calls on one emergency, and we have dispatched. We'll tell you we have dispatched. It is here or it is there.
The occasions I've called you when people have called on me for help, and you've told me, oh, you've heard about it already. You have dispatched a tender and all that.
And I want to also appeal to you, the journalists and the presenters, that there are a lot of the time when there is fire, you tend to call us. I am working with the fire service. I am not a fire station. If you call me, I can only also call the control room. So if you have the control room numbers, call them directly. That is manned 24/7. So even at 12 a.m., 1 a.m., when you call, somebody will pick the call. But if you call me and at that material moment I'm not available, what happens?
To be honest with you, I didn't want. We hear you. Let me finish here. That control room matters.
Please try it, so that when somebody says that I've called and nobody is picking, you can also.
We hear you. Entry.
Yes, sir. Dave, what I want to say is that the firefighter is your friend. There was a saying in the fire service that the firefighter will risk his life to save savable lives and properties. So at every point in time, we are ready to save the community. So when we can, please give us the opportunity to serve you.
I hear you. Well, thank you very much again. And listen, if you're a car owner, there's only one sound you fall in love with each and every time. It's the sound of a healthy engine. That's why Shell Fuels with the Dynaflex technology is designed to keep your car engine clean and protected for efficient running and a healthy engine that sounds music to your ears. From the timeless classics to the sleek new models, and of course from the heavy-duty trucks to the nimble compacts, one thing's for sure: every car loves Shell. Why? Because whether you are cruising on the open road or battling with the busy city streets, Shell Fuels will keep your engine running smoothly. So visit your favorite Shell station today and get Shell Fuels, because every car loves Shell Fuels for better journeys. So again, if you ask why Shell Fuels, it's simple: because every car loves Shell. Well, Societe Generale, your secure and trusted partner, is celebrating 20 years in Ghana. Hooray! Now, this significant milestone wouldn't have been possible without you, our loyal customer. So this anniversary is dedicated to you. It has been a journey of triumphs, successes, and innovative financial solutions crafted to give you, your family, and business the best outcomes always. Our partnership with you has seen you and your families grow, your businesses and institutions succeed, and many dreams come true. Today, we are celebrating 20 years with you. Societe Generale Ghana, the future is you. Now, coming up shortly is the part 2 of that documentary, Poison for Gold, put together by Erastus Asari Donko. It comes up your way shortly on the Super Morning Show. But before then, Fido's highest loan is now an impressive 4,000 Ghana cedis. Listen, starting small is the key to big things. Begin with a loan of 200 Ghana cedis and pay on time, and you could see your loan limit grow to 4,000 Ghana cedis. Now tell Paddy, get money, spread the word. Now when you refer friends to Fido and they take a loan, well, you will earn 15 Ghana cedis, and your Paddy gets 10 Ghana cedis when he or she repays the loan. It's a winning combo. Getting the Fido app is as easy as just picking up your device and dialing *998*9# to apply Fido on the App Store or the Play Store. Apply today, shine your eyes, and remember to watch out for tricksters, because Fido will never ask you to pay any money before getting a Fido loan. It's not going to happen. So have that at the back of your mind. All right, so I think at this point in time we've got some messages for you, and then we'll be crossing over to Joy 99.7. Are we good to go? Well, before then, imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or the merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly. Well, at this point in time, the documentary just began, so let's cross over to Joy 99.7 for the Hotline documentary, part 2 of Poison for Mood.
Protection. Consequently, the heavy metals in the tailings are released into water bodies, the soil, food chain, surface, and groundwater. But how does this affect food grown for the market in Ghana?
There's an actual link between heavy metal found in the soil and food.
Dr. Albert Kobna-Mensah is a research scientist with a PhD in heavy metals in mine-affected tailings and soil, forest, water, and land degradation. His work involved the testing and studying of heavy metal contamination of soil in the Takwa and Prestia areas of the western region.
I checked heavy metal in the soil that they are using to grow plantain, cassava, that they are using to grow cocoa, and other subsistence farming practices that are being. Now, a champion who absorb higher concentrations of arsenic, lead, titanium, and copper into the roots, into the stem, and into the leaves. And mind you, these are plants that are used as medicinal plants in many of these mining areas. And the people over there are not even aware of that, even though they are using for medicinal purpose, but they end up contaminating themselves. Another plant that is also of concern is the ejama. For the ejama is also used as medicinal plant, and they may also be of concern to the user. So heavy metal accumulation from irresponsible mining is a big issue.
He reveals the link between these poisonous metals and food grown from these areas.
I collected samples from Obuasi, areas that are contaminated with arsenic, with cadmium, with lead and copper. And we cultivated the soil in a pot in a greenhouse. In fact, there were alarming concentrations of heavy metal that were accumulated in the lettuce. Apart from my own work, I know colleagues who have also done work where they found high concentrations of heavy metal in these mine areas in cocoa beans, the cocoa pod, the cocoa roots, the cocoa stem, and the cocoa leaf itself. They have found equal or similar alarming rates of these heavy metals that are of concern in oil palm and also in cocoyam. And especially, I must draw attention here that root crops like cassava, potato, cocoyam, okay, so they are able to absorb heavy metal of higher concentration than even the above ground, which are the stem and the leaves.
Interestingly, many in Prestia are ignorant of this fact.
It worries us a lot, but if they told them not to work here from the beginning, they wouldn't have continued. From Prestia to Bogoso, we are all NPP supporters. Nanado did not bring us jobs since he resumed office. We thought he would strengthen Galamsey. We cheered him on at Prestia Park. There are no jobs and you want to stop Galamsey? The river will always be polluted.
There is danger lurking unknown to children who play naively with contaminated soil in the Prestia community.
Children, they use this site that are contaminated by these heavy metals. They use it as playground. They don't know. In the course of that, they ingest the soil. So there are routes of exposure. We call it dermal contact when the soil comes into your skin. Then they call it ingestion when they eat the soil. You can eat the soil even orally by opening your mouth or by drinking. You eat the soil. Then we also have what is called inhalation. That is when you breathe. These are the three main routes of exposure.
Baby X and his late mother may have been exposed to contaminated soil, water, or inhaled vaporized mercury from the many gold smelting joints scattered across the Bebiani Anyasobekwai area. The recent uncontrolled, irresponsible mining across the country presents a health risk to children. The Pediatric Society of Ghana is concerned. Dr. Anthony Enemil is an infectious disease specialist, a senior lecturer, KNUST, and a Konfanoti Teaching Hospital lead for the Pediatric Society of Ghana.
Children are coming, and I can share some of these things from reported evidence from our sister colleagues, like pathologists. They do procedures, children die, and sometimes, depending on the community you come and say, let's know that there is evidence, you can trace. Because we take history, we ask from where you are coming from. When a child is sick with a condition and is coming from Agro-Isu, where they are mining, where mercuries are used, then we are tempted to relate what is happening unusually to where he's coming from. And that is where the pathologist will come in and say, well, the levels of mercury was this, higher than tolerable for the normal, even for adult, let alone a child. So we can fairly relate some of the occurrences now with where they are coming from, and based on relations on levels done by pathologists, we could attribute some of them to actually some of those activities, which in themselves they are illegal. So it is not surprising. And the question is, why are these things still going on?
At the respiratory unit of the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital, more persons are coming in with end-stage liver diseases linked to pollutants from mining areas in Ghana. Head of the Respiratory Directorate of the Konfanoti Teaching Hospital, Dr. Divine Amenuke, says the trend is alarming.
We are getting some cases of young people, usually between the ages of between 20 to 40, whereby they come with difficulty in breathing and cough. Sometimes they might have chest pain. And from our investigations, which mainly would be chest x-ray, and then if they can afford, we do a higher form of x-ray that we call computed tomography or CT scan of the chest. We find that they have extensive damage to their lungs. And when we go into their history of what kind of job they do, they tend to be people who come from communities that are involved in illegal mining. It makes my heart bleed. Being a healthcare professional supposed to take care of people who are